Hey guys, sorry about being so late this week with the videos. 2 weeks, I guess. I'm sorry. There was procrastination, which is a real problem. Real life, I've got a job and but you guys don't want to hear about that. You probably want to hear about major crimes, right? So you get 2 for 1 this week. You get episode 2, False Pretenses, and episode 3, Under the Influence. Stop watching now if you don't want to get spoiled, basically. So, episode 2, False Pretenses. Let's start with Rusty's mystery stalker, because there's creepy. Very, very creepy, the opening with the gloves and the snapping and the ominous pencil sharpening. It was all very, very creepy. I think it could be somebody like Daniel Dunn. I don't think Daniel Dunn is as coordinated. Somebody pointed that out to me this week. And, you know, he just couldn't do it. But it did say old friend, so I'm not completely discounting the possibility that it's either Rusty's dad or somebody from his mom's past. Creepy. But I don't think we should rule out family yet. And I think it speaks a lot to how comfortable Rusty is with the team and how much he thinks of them as family right now, because even though Sharon was busy, he was still comfortable with going to somebody else like Buzz. Like, they're getting really close now. So that's really good, and I like that. I like the little details are what matters. So let's talk about Andy Flynn right now. Oh my god. We keep hearing about this physical that he has coming up, and Andy is just freaking out about this. Now, people are saying, 1, he could be getting all fit for Sharon, which, you know, that would be adorable. Or 2, he could be sick and dying. As much television as I watch, and as much as I've seen that happen in television shows where they're like, oh, health kick, heart attack! I really don't want it to happen like that. He can't have a heart attack. That makes me sad. So overall, Andy Flynn was just being hilarious, though, with his ginkgo biloba and the caffeine, where he's like, I'm just caffeine's so horrible, and and all this kind of stuff. And then to end it with Tao and Buzz just laughing at him because his drinks had caffeine in it. And just so funny. And then him looking longingly at food. Andy Flynn, just don't stop being perfect. That's all I have to say about that. Emma! I literally laughed out loud and long when she flipped her lid with the dead bodies. The blown off face, and she just flipped out, and then the body upstairs, the brother who, you know, supposedly killed himself. Which I was just like, I laughed so loud. I'm kind of getting tired of the whole puppy dog Sanchez thing, and I was kind of happy to see the team was getting tired of it too. Like, come on, man, do your job. Get on this. I mean, I want Sanchez to have somebody in his life, because there's that very, very sad backstory of his wife being killed or dying in the closer, and the longer she stays annoying, the less I'm going to like it, and the more he decides to be all googly eyes with the Emma and the puppy dog eyes and all this kind of stuff, and stop being a competent character, I'm not going to like it, which, yeah, that's basically how I feel about that. Sharon Rader was fierce this episode, and hilarious too. I mean, let's just start with the face she made when she was drinking the coffee, and she just, like, scrunches up like an awkward turtle. I'm just like, what even is this face? And everybody was like, you're trying too hard. Just trying too hard to be subtle. And you're like, I'm winning and I'm being subtle. And everybody was like, you're adorable, Raider, but you're not subtle. At least that's what everybody's on the internet saying. And then we got a lot of good Mama Raider moments, because she was just always, you know, you could tell she was being very, very protective of Rusty, and not caring if he was upset about the fact that she was like, you're not going out, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, because you need to be safe, and I don't care. And I think my favorite moment was when Rusty's all like, oh, so I have a choice, right? And she's like, that would be misleading. And I'm just like, that perfection. So, and I love the fact that as much as Rusty was fighting against this instinct of being caged in and being told what to do, in the end he accepted all of it because Sharon will be there for him. He gets to stay with Sharon. Okay, I'm going to talk about that scene with Taylor and Rios and Raider and how... Okay, first off, why is Rios referring to Taylor by his first name of Russell? Like, when did that become okay? Ever. I mean, and this is the second time that they've seemed super familiar, or she's seemed super familiar with him. Like, she's, like in the first episode where she's expecting certain other things to be taken care of, and then with calling him Russell. So I'm starting to build this theory that there might be something coming up between the two of them. I don't know if I like that. But the funniness definitely came when Sharon knew exactly which buttons to push. Like, exactly which buttons to push with Taylor. Because she was like, excuse me, raising her hand, too. I was like, are we back in school? What is this? But it's adorable. Don't stop. Where she's like, who's gonna pay for this? Like, really, who's gonna pay for this? And Russell and Taylor was all like, yeah, who is gonna pay for this? And she knew exactly what was going on. And sassy Taylor is sassy because of his "that's why you have a badge and a gun" thing when he threw that back into Sharon's face. If he keeps being this sassy and nice, well, not nice, but funny, then I think we might keep him. I was impressed with the sneaky maneuvering, getting them to sign the deal based on the robberies and then using that to get him on the murder, which I was kind of shocked that it seemed like they weren't going to deal with the murder. Death row doesn't seem like much of a deal to me, and that's what, at the end, it seemed like Rios was really going for. Random stuff. This episode was funny. Like, I mean, Mr. Clean, Tao, and Provenza saying the gays have it made, and Morales with the padded handcuffs. It just, oh my god, funny. Okay, and another random point. Why were Andy and Sharon, like, standing 2 inches from each other? I was like, everybody else is across the room. You're not sharing a file folder or anything. You don't have... There's no reason you, Sharon, need to be at Andy's desk. And there's really no reason why there should be 3 inches or so between the two of you. It didn't seem like what character motivation other than the fact that they're so together. Episode 3, Under the Influence. Jason Andrews reminds me of that dorky little brother that you kind of tagging along brother to Tao's older brother, and he had to make excuses for him and kind of apologize. But I wouldn't mind seeing him again. Like, he was cute, and especially if they ship him with Amy, I would not mind that at all. Because they're so adorable together. Just they were so adorable. Like, with the flirting that wasn't flirting and the cute little smiles. And, you know, Rusty could be a professional wingman because nobody would see him coming. Amy didn't. She didn't see it coming. But yeah, that's what I gotta say about Andrews. Okay, the car chase. The whole time, like, the first time I was watching it, like, I couldn't tell it was a Dodge, what was it, a Charger? A Dodge Charger or something? I was like, when did they get a cool car? When did that happen? Like, what? When I caught up to the guy, I was very happy that Scary Sanchez is back. Like, that, finally, like I was just talking about with, you know, how puppy dog guys are gone, thank God. But yeah, that car chase, I really, like, watching the previews, I really thought it was going to be, I honestly thought it was going to be the climax of the episode. Like, they were going to build up to that and then, you know, work their way down. So it was weird that they started the episode off with it. More about Sharon Rader, and I have a lot to say about Sharon Rader, or at least the bulk of my notes was probably about Sharon. So I'm just gonna try and sum up. And she was not taking anything from Rusty this week. She was just not having the whole, but the paper, and I'm just, no. And her face when he was like when she was reading the paper again, when he rewrote it, she was like, and she was totally like, you didn't write this. And he was like, yeah, I didn't know. And why Rusty thinks he can get away with this kind of stuff anymore, I don't know. But, yes. And then, like, her voice did this pitch thing where she went up in pitch and, like, the intonation changed. And I was like, yes. And side note, the only reason I bring it up is because it happened in Battlestar Galactica. Because she does this thing where when she's being sarcastic, she changes the pitch of her voice, or it goes breathy, and she's just it's kind of playful, and I like the second Mutiny, the one in the 4th season. If you haven't watched Battlestar Galactica, sorry, you should watch it. But it was the scene where Laura and Bill were being all cute and space parents and just adorable, and she was like, I'll have dinner ready, and that her voice had went up and she started getting all breathy, and it was funny, and she did it again, so that makes me happy. And yes, I realize I'm a nerd. That should be apparent by now. If it's not, I apologize, but yeah. Like, Sharon knew the word abogado, but does she, like, is that the only word she knows? Or does she fluently speak Spanish? That I would like to see. If she fluently speaks Spanish, that would be cool. Okay, I actually have a lot to say about the case this week, because it was genius. Like, it was just perfect. Well, not perfect because people died, but yeah. Okay, Sharon knowing so much about the rules is helpful when you want to bend the rules, but how far can you bend the rules before they break? Like, really, how far do you have to go before you're stepping out of line? Where's that compass? And we're gonna talk about that a little bit later too. And Sanchez knowing exactly what was up, and then Sharon backing him up all the way. I love it. Hobbs was the DDA this week, which I love because Hobbs is cool and doesn't take anybody's crap, which is good. Oh, and I totally caught the thing with the name, so I was like, so that was cool. Like, that was a twist, having her be the mom. And then Elizabeth Pena was genius. Just genius. Being cold and calculating and not caring about her son and whether he lives or dies. Because apparently some mistakes are just too big and you have to pay for them with your life. Having a bad guy know as much of the rules as Sharon does was so great to watch, because Sharon knew that she couldn't do anything. She couldn't find a way around it, and it was just so good, and like being so frustrated about how bad this person was and how much she wanted to put them in jail, but she couldn't because they were following the rules and she couldn't get them in on anything. And they brought up the decision that, of sending both Vega and her son across the border and letting the cartels deal with them. And they cut to commercial. And during the commercial, I was like, this is a Brenda decision, because neither my mom, which was watching it with my friend, who was me and my friend, we were talking about it, and they haven't really seen the closer, and I've seen the closer, and I was like, this is something Brenda would do. Like, she would send both of them and not even look back. But things have changed, and Sharon is not Brenda, and I was like, Sharon won't do it. It won't happen. It won't happen. It's not going to happen. It happened! Like, okay, so she didn't send the son, which, like I said, Brenda would have sent both and just been whatever. But because of it's her brand, that's justice to her, which Sharon is like, no, he should go to jail, even if it's not the death penalty, which he rightly or justly deserves, or whatever. But she was okay with just getting him in jail for life. But the fact that she was okay with the mom going, like, I know you have to send them back because of extradition rules and stuff like that, but just, I didn't think she'd do it, and she did it, and I think, I love that character development, but again, it's like it's that thing where, how much can you bend the rules before you break them again? How much is something okay? How much can you tell yourself that this is a thing that I can do before it becomes the wrong thing? The look on her face was very, I'm not happy with the way this day went, and I'm not happy with the choices I made. At least that's how I interpreted. So, random things that I have to talk about. The look Sharon gave Andy. She wanted Jason to stop talking, which it was very much a, honey, can you please take care of this idiot, and then I'll owe you a favor. And I'll make it up to you. Kind of a look. And his look was like, okay, babe, anything for you. That's how I interpreted that scene, and that's how it's gonna continue to be interpreted in my mind. No regrets. The more I talk about and the more I think about the whole thing with Raider and, the black and white and all, like, the gray seeping in with her decision making and bending the rules, I think maybe we might see a little bit more, and maybe this was the first step into identity, how you identify yourself as a good person or a bad person, maybe. I'm getting deep again. Overall, 2 good episodes, 2 good solid episodes. So basically that's it. Thank you for watching. Next week I hope to have more major crime stuff for you. Pretenses and Flynn screw up episode, which I've been waiting for because we get Sharon in on the mix now because she gets to deal with that. I'm excited. Also, I have a couple of ideas for non-major crimes related videos. Firstly, I want to do a book review, but I'm kind of juggling, like, do I do a good, like, a book I like first or a book I hate? Because if I do the book I hate first, it's going to just me tearing into a book and deconstructing it. Or I could talk to you guys about a book I really, really love, and I can discuss it with you. It's up to you guys. Let me know in the comments. Yeah. I've really loved all of making these and stuff, so I hope to do more for you guys. I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!